Guys, thanks for tuning in again. I think today's going to be a very raw video because, look, as you can see behind, I do not have my fancy lights on, so there's going to be no colour. The discussion's just going to be very genuine, and it's not really with all the bells and whistles. And I think that's very genuine because this coronavirus situation, it's a tough one for a lot of us. You get the economy, you get life as we know it, where everything's shut because of the coronavirus. Lockdowns are still on because it's still out in the community, especially in Australia. And because of that, no one's working. Friends of mine are moving overseas. I have a lot of friends doing that. US, Hawaii, England, Europe. You know, a lot of people are moving. And it's really important to just talk about this because life is unfortunately changing when we don't want it to. A lot of people have been feeling very uncomfortable with this whole situation, losing work. It's pretty shit. Especially with me, with you, everyone. And this is why it's important that we all support each other. Mental health is a big deal. For me being one of them that suffers on a daily basis. If I'm sick, my mental health is and I need to acknowledge that it's shit when I'm sick. It's just still shit in general because I'm still relying heavily on medication. And so, it's just important that we just support each other and we look out for one another. It doesn't matter what you do or where you've been or where you've come from. We are all in this together, and the only way to get through problems is if we all stick together and support one another. Friendships, they can come and go, but during this time it's more important than ever, as there's a lot of people going through a myriad of different situations that's tough to deal with. These people are amazing people, and yet they are forced to move because their line of work has just dried up. And it just means that there's a lot of conditions that people in our lives would need to sit through in order to survive, and these conditions are very uncomfortable. Just imagine how this would make you feel. For us Australians that have access to healthcare like the JobKeeper, the job seeker payment, all these sorts of payments, because our industry is shut, we're pretty lucky. We are pretty lucky because, we've got that safety net. And it's important to understand that we're still very fortunate because rates in Australia are far lower than a lot of countries. Yes, it would be good to get back to work, get back to a normal life, but we've got to realize that it's a matter of life and death if we are complacent. So we've got to be responsible. It's very unfortunate that we need to go through these things because no one wants to see their friends go away overseas where we lose contact with them. So look after your contacts. Look after these people because these people will be with you for life. Just reach out to them as these people need your support. It's not just these people that need your support that are having to move overseas because they can no longer survive on an income that they can't get in Australia now because of the economy virtually being shit. It's also these people with other issues that they are losing their support networks, their healthy situations, like their human-to-human contacts, not being able to go to, say, a cafe and get a coffee, speak to the staff there, do things like that because of social distancing. Like, this is very healthy behavior to get out and see people. There's a lot of people that are struggling. It's important that we stick together and support everyone, because by the end of the day, we don't want to make it as worse as, say, the USA or, say, Italy with a lot of deaths. But we don't want to make it up because of the coronavirus, but we don't want to make it even worse because of even more deaths because of mental health. And that's a very important thing we need to look out for, is people's mental health, because coming from me, my mental health has been wavering. And it's been really tough to talk about it, but then again, I'm open because there's no shame in your issues, as I believe that talking about these things is getting rid of all the energy from you to release that emotional pain, that burden, and being open about it, not being scared, because there's always going to be someone in some shape or form that will resonate with what you're saying. There's always going to be people. That's just life. There's like billions of people on the planet. There's always going to be people that will resonate with you. This is why I'm open to talking about these things. So yeah, guys, stick together, look out for one another. You know, a lot of people are struggling, and it's just important to reach out to those people that you think might be struggling. And if they're not, they're not. But then again, keep the door open, because they might think like, yes, I'm depressed and I've got my pride to look out for. So they're going to say, no, I'm fine. But then say a week later, they might be like, actually, yes, I'm struggling. I need to talk to someone. So just be approachable, be reachable. As you know, there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. So let's just support each other, as we don't want one pandemic to be introduced into another epidemic, which is unfortunately suicide. We don't want that. We don't want people that have lost their means of transport because of, say, social distancing, or others that are sick and their means of transport is sick and they can't leave the house, so they've got to self-isolate. There's a lot of people that need our help. So reach out to your neighbour, your friends, your family, you know, someone that you see like down the street. Reach out to them and be like, hey, I hope you're doing okay. Can I help you out? Let's just remember we're in this together, and we can get through it if we stick together. Thanks, guys. Please look out, and please, please, please help me out, because I want to help you guys out as well. That's why I'm here. So please subscribe. No. Subscribe, comment down below, and like my video. Would love to hear some ideas, some sources of creativity. I would love to hear any feedback you've got, anything you want to see, anything. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video.